Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Fix This House. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to replace your old wall light fixture into a hanging light fixture like what you see here. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. If you're new to the channel, please consider pressing the subscribe and notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. Once you get the light fixture removed from the wall, you can see that there are exposed wiring. Make sure that you turn off the power from your circuit breaker before handling any type of wiring. If you're uncomfortable working with wiring, make sure you consult a professional electrician so that they can do this safely for you. I'm going to be measuring out where I'm going to position the new light fixture on the ceiling. What I did was I'm going to be connecting a wire to the old light fixture wiring, and I'm going to be running it through the walls. I'm using my drywall keyhole saw. Now all the tools that I used in this video I'll be leaving in the description down below to make it easier for you to find all the tools. Once you got that hole nice and positioned, I went up into my attic and I located that hole that I just made, and then I'm going to run the new wiring that I connected from the old J box through this hole. I'm just running the new wiring. The wiring that I'm using is a 12-2 by Romex. I'm going to be running this through that hole, and this is actually connected to the old J box that you saw earlier, where I disconnected that light fixture. What we're going to be doing now, we're going to be placing this J box with a rail. Now this is going to be connecting from joist to joist. It's very helpful because it has this railing. I always like to use my voltage detector from Milwaukee. This saves my life every time. Even though I turn off the power from my circuit breaker, I always like to double check if the power is off. So I always run this. If the power is live, it will turn red and it will beep. Now I'm going to place back the old wiring and kind of shove it back into the hole. And now I'm going to place the J box, and I'm going to be tracing around this so that I know where to cut out on my keyhole saw. If you do have a flat paint on your ceiling, make sure you wear gloves so you don't stain the ceiling. Now I'm just going to be using a plastic dropping off the areas because this is going to be creating a lot of dust. Make sure you wear a dust mask or a respirator when you're cutting because you're going to be generating some dust, and this will help catch all that debris and help you prevent from making a lot of mess. Now that you've cut that hole, take off the excess. Now you're ready to install that J box once again and go back up to your attic if you do have an attic, and then we're gonna go and install this J box on the rail. This area has some insulation on it. This is just some wool insulation. I'm going to be connecting it from joist to joist like what I mentioned earlier. Now position it as you can. Now this rail does extend. It should extend 16 to 16 inch centers, so it's very easy to use. The hardware that I'll be using is just drywall screws, nothing special. If you have extra screws lying around, you can use that as well to connect this rail. Now from end to end, once you set the right length that you want, now you can position your J box onto that hole just like what you see here, and it should sit perfectly like that. Like what I said, I'm going to be using some drywall screws. I'm using my impact wrench driver, and just carefully just screw that on. Make sure that you're checking for wires as well so you don't screw in any type of wire on the other side. Then I'm going to be feeding this through one of the inserts, as you can see here. Now I'm using a 12 by 12 wire from Romex, and then I'm going to be covering this with my insulation that I put aside earlier. Now you should have the exposed wire right there. Pull as needed. I like to at least pull 6-inch excess from what I'll be using, and then I'm going to be screwing now, tightening the screw so that this will securely tighten on the railings. Like what you see here, very easy to use. Now the lights that I'll be using is this Monty light fixture. I got this from Home Depot. Again, I'll leave this on the description down below if you like this product and if you find it very nice. And now it should come with all the necessary hardware that you need, and also the wire caps. Be careful with this because it is glass. So it does come with all the wires, and it comes with this very long wire. This wire you can actually pull back and forth to the whatever length that you choose. Make sure you just take unscrew the stopper like what you see here. Pull back on whatever length that you choose. For me, I'm probably just gonna be only using 1 foot of wire. Then I'm gonna position this and insert it onto the glass and then close it off like this. And this is what's gonna be how it's gonna look like. It's just gonna hang from the ceiling. I'm having my wife help me as she decides how long she wants it to hang from the ceiling, and then you're just gonna close it off back with the clamps. Now with the excess wire, I like to coil it up inside like what you see what I'm doing. Coil it in there carefully. Now I can't stress enough how much I love using these Wago wire connectors. They're so easy to use. I'll leave it in the description down below, but all you have to do is pull down on these levers, and once you pull these down, you just insert the wire and then just close it off, and it just snaps like that, and it connects to the next wire that you put into those channels. That easy. These are reusable. That's why I like to use them, just in case you want to change this light fixture in the future. You can just reuse these wire connectors, and they're so easy and safe to use. Like what I said, make sure you put the wires, make sure you match up color to color, hot black to black, white to white, and ground to ground. Now this bracket right here, tighten it down like what you see, and then connect the ground wire. Make sure you connect that ground wire to the green screw like there, and then just tighten it up. And then the rest of the wires, just tuck it inside the J box. Once you get all the wires tucked in, take the cap and then screw it onto the bracket like what you saw before. Just screw it on there and it should hang nicely like that. I'm using this nice Edison fancy bulb. I'll leave this on the description also. And yeah, I really like this because it actually brings out a good design for the light like what you see here. I'll do a close-up in a bit. And it does have this yellowish orange hue onto it, but it does have this nice design. Once I zoom into it, like here, you'll start seeing it. This Edison bulb looks really nice and makes a good decoration for your bathroom, and it adds that style and class. As you can see, it hangs out very nice right there. You don't see any of the penetrations or any of the cuts. It looks very nice and clean, just like what you see. So once again, friends, if you found this video super helpful, hit that thumbs up, press that subscribe button, notification bell, so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. Thank you once again for tuning in. I hope you found value to this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.